Hello everyone, my name is Kate Marshall. The name of my channel is called Inked Paper Art. Today is day 21 of 365 days of junk journal ideas. I'm going to show you guys how to make a flip out pocket for your junk journals. I know we've been making quite a few flip outs. This one is very different than the other ones we've made. And I think this one is one that you're going to probably use in just about every journal you make. Let's go ahead and get started. The first thing that you're going to want is some kind of paper today. You could make your flip out pockets out of music paper. You could make them out of some sort of printed digital paper, something like that. So I'm going to use probably this blue one. And then if we have time, I'll come back and make a second one out of that music paper over there. And so these are very easy. We're not going to need very many tools. I'm just going to show you the folding formula for making these, and then we can talk about decorating. And I'll also pull a journal down and show you how one of these actually attaches on a page and how it works in a journal. So this is an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. It's a digital, antique wallpaper digital. And so what you're going to want to do is the first thing you're going to do is fold it in half. And I'm just folding mine to where my pretty side is on the outside. So just fold it in half. It doesn't have to be exact. None of the measurements I'm giving you today have to be exact. You can use any size piece of paper. You just want to make sure that your folded project isn't too big to fit into your journal. So this is 8.5 by 11 again. I started out by folding it in half. I'm going to fold up the bottom about 3/4 of an inch, just like that. And then I'm going to come over here to the side and fold in the side about 3/4 of an inch. Doesn't matter, 3/4, 1 inch, really doesn't matter there. There we go. And then I'm going to fold in the top about this top one, probably only about 1/2 an inch. The top side is just going to be used to reinforce our pocket. So I put my crease lines in there. I'm hoping you guys can see my crease lines. We're going to cut along our crease lines. So the first thing that you want to do is you want to come to the top here, and you're going to want to remove this little triangle right here. So this whole section right here, it's actually not a triangle. I don't know why I called that. It's a rectangle, but you're going to cut out this rectangle. And so I'm just going to cut this one at an angle right here, nicely and gently. And then I'm going to come over here and I'm going to cut this one at an angle. And so you don't have to be fussy with it. Just like that is fine. So I've got 2 angle cuts there. And the next thing I'm going to want to do is I'm going to want to cut the bottom one. So we have an actual square right here at the bottom. I'm going to cut that bottom one at an angle too. And I'm going to cut out that little square right there. So I'm just cutting. I'm not going over. And I'm going to cut this one at an angle too. There we go. So we cut both corners. So this is the folded side right here. This is the folded edge of my paper. I cut the one that was not the folded edge, the open edge. I cut out both corners at angles. Okay. From here, we need to open up our pocket. So now we're working on the back side of our paper. You can use double-sided paper, but you're not going to see anything on the double side. So this is a great project for single-sided paper. So then from there, you want to take your pocket and you're going to turn it around to where we're working with that top section. This is my top. It was the one where I folded down only about 1/2 an inch, and we're going to glue that. You can just use glue stick for this portion. We're just gluing this down to the inside. So we're just going to put some glue on there and we're going to glue it down. And when we fold this in, we're going to fold it to the back side of our paper. So, to the back side. We don't want it to fold over on our pattern. We just want to fold it to the back side there. Okay, we've done that. Now we're going to work on one of the side edges. It doesn't matter if you use this side edge or if you use this side edge. It doesn't really matter. Just choose one side. We'll just go with this one. Fold it in also, like this. Now you're not going to glue this one on the white part. You're not going to glue it on the inside part. You're going to glue it on the outside part. Not quite yet, but I'm just telling you, you're going to glue this on the outside, the printed part, eventually. Now for down here in the corner, we need to tidy this up. And the first thing that you want to do is you want to finish your angle. So I'm going to go ahead and finish angle cutting there. And then I'm going to cut off this whole panel right here. So if you folded, whatever side you folded in, it's better to then cut this one at the angle on this side and cut off this one. It'll make more sense here in a second. So cut off the bottom section on the panel that you folded the little flap in, okay? We folded this one in, we cut off the bottom section here. All right, makes more sense as we go. Now you're going to want to put your glue on this side. And again, you could use art glitter glue if you wanted to. You could use glue stick. It doesn't really matter. You don't want to get any glue on the inside because that's your inside of your pocket. If you do, just like I did, doesn't really matter that much. From here, you want to take your whole entire piece and fold it in. So now we've got it like this, right? And we folded it in and we glued it right here. We still have this one that's, you know, flapping in the wind, but this one that we folded over, it glued right there. That's why we didn't want any glue stick on the inside of it, because it would glue our pocket closed. So that's what we have now. We're going to glue this little flap to the bottom. And so what we've done is we've made a little pocket out of our book page, or you could use book page, like a folio out of a rag paper book. That would be great. So I folded that in, and here's the finished product. Now obviously we'll have to decorate it, but you've got a flap on one side that's open. You've got a reinforced pocket at the top, and this is a nice big pocket. It goes all the way down. Okay. So that's your pocket, and your back, because we cut it at that nice angle, it looks all finished and beautiful. Okay, so then you have this little section here, that's that flap. That one we're now going to fold to the front. There we go. And this is where you would attach it into a journal. So it would flap, it would glue down to a page. Here's my journal page. Just pretend this is my journal page. Right? So this is 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, folded in half for a journal page. You would glue down your flap right like this, and then this would flip out, and it's a pocket right here. So let's go ahead and thumb hole notch that, because I think it'll make more sense to, you know, look at it as a pocket if we thumb hole notched it. So let's just do it. And it doesn't matter, you know, which side you want to thumb hole notch it. It really doesn't, you know. So there, I've cut a thumb hole notch out of that one. So I would glue it down, and it would have the thumb hole notch on this side. You could go ahead and do both sides, in all honesty. I'm going to go ahead and try to do that just because, again, I think it shows better. It shows better as a pocket like that. I don't know if you can see, but yeah. So that's the little way that it would work, right? Now you could ink all the way around it, but you've got this big pocket right here. And the reason why we folded it down right up here at the top, that little 1/4 of an inch, is to reinforce that. And so if you wanted to get a little bit more advanced, so this is your basic flip out. If you wanted to get a little bit more advanced, you could die cut. So when your paper was whole like this, oops, sorry, I bumped the camera again. If you wanted to get a little bit more technical, you could die cut a shape out of your sheet of paper. So when you fold it in half like this, you would die cut a little window in the center, and then that would have a window in your little pocket right here. So if you had like an oval die, you could make a nice big oval right here, and then you would glue some plastic to the back so that you could have a see-through little oval window in your pocket. So anyway, that's the basic way we're doing it. Let's go ahead and build another one out of music page, and then let's go ahead and decorate some. Now this music page is quite a bit bigger than what I need it to be, so we're going to just have to cut it down, which is fine because it has all this white border around it anyway. So I'm just going to cut it, and then we're going to fold up our bottom and our sides and our top. Yep, I'm going to cut it. I was debating, but yes, we're going to cut it. Okay, so I have a regular like 8.5 by 11 size sheet of paper right there. It doesn't matter which side. These are both beautiful sides. So anyway, fold it in half. Fold up your bottom about 3/4 of an inch. Fold up your side And it can be 1/2 inch. It can be whatever you need to be there. I would recommend at least 1/2 inch because that's your hinge that you attach it in the journal. And then up here at the top, just a small little, 1/4, 1/3 of an inch, whatever there. Okay, then from there, you're going to cut out these little pieces here. This is your open side. This is your creased side. You're going to cut out the square at the bottom and the little rectangle here at the top, making angular cuts. That's where you get that really nice finished looking hinge. And the angle up here at the top is really just for bulk. And so this is where you get your nice angled hinge and your nice angled bottom. So go ahead and cut it like that. And then for this one, I'm just going to cut that. And then I'm going to open it up and I'm going to fold this guy in and I'm going to cut off this flap right here. I folded this one in, so I'm cutting this flap off. And so I'm going to go ahead and follow my fold line around, cut off that flap. And then from there, I can start gluing, and I'm going to glue down the top section first, which just reinforces my pocket. Ideally, you would get your glue all the way to the edge. Since this is going on the inside, it's not really that important. There we go. And then we're going to fold in that little flap again over here. And then we're going to add glue to that. And we're going to take this little flap, keeping it folded to the inside, and you're going to pick up your whole entire piece and fold it over onto this one. And that's it. It closed up your pocket there. You're going to close up the bottom by adding glue to this guy. And then he folds up like that. And there's your pocket. You have your hinge. So this is where it would attach to a journal. And if you need your hinge to go the other way, then just move your hinge that way. So there's that one. It hinges on like this. Or if you wanted to, it could hinge on the inside like this, and it would flip out. So you can decide which way you want it to go. And then of course, you could thumb hole notch your little pocket up here at the top. Oh my goodness. Thumb hole notch it up there at the top. It's all reinforced and sturdy up there. So see what I mean about making sure that your pocket is a nice size. Generally, you don't want your flip out pocket to be the same size as your journal page. You usually want it to be quite a bit smaller visually, so it looks better that way. Let's go ahead and work on decorating this guy for just a few minutes. I have some book page here we can put on it. So let's just go ahead and tear some book page. I think I'm going to decorate it this way. So I'm just going to tear this book page down at an angle, and I'm going to put it on so that only the text part is showing. And the easiest way to do that is to just take your glue stick and go to town on it. And so glue up your text portion and then put that right on. And then you just want to make sure that you're kind of straight, right? Because your text, you can make it your text crooked, but I think text looks better when text is straight. This is foreign language, it's French, so you're not going to be able to read it unless you read French anyway. And then we're going to cut off the excess of that. And so then we're going to cut out some Victorian fashion lady, 1 or 2, I'm not sure yet, and we'll put them on the pocket for decoration. Let's see what we have here. So there's our pocket decorated. Remember, this is just a hinge over here. And then for the ladies, I have some ladies. I know I printed them. They're right here. Yep. One of these ladies will go on here. I'm thinking this one because she's a little bit softer tone. So I'm just going to go ahead and fussy cut her out real quick. And you can see that their dresses are overlapping. When you cut these ladies out like this, it really doesn't matter that their dresses are overlapping. So remember my fussy cutting tips. I said cut it out of the page first. Pick out wherever you want to start your fussy cut and just start going around. And today I've just, I've got the big scissors, so we're just using those. And so she's leaning on this little chair right here. I don't know how much of that I'm going to leave, so I just cut most of it off. And then I'm just going to cut around the ruffles of her dress, kind of leaving them a little bit more jagged. And then she's got a little fan in her hand, and we're just going to pretend that the bottom part of that fan is gone, and I'm going to cut around the top part, being fussy with it there. I hope you guys had a good holiday yesterday. Guess what today is? Today is Live Sale Tuesday. So we're going to have a live sale on my channel tonight, starting at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And so if you want to enjoy coming and looking at all the French goodies, I have all kinds of antique paper goodies in tonight's live sale and other French antique treasures from the flea markets of France. So that's what I'm going to be doing tonight, starting at 6. So there's our little lady. She can go on there. She's beautiful. And then we'll need some kind of a little label. And one of these ones will work. Let's see. So I think we're going to go with this one. We'll see. We have to cut it out first. I can't see it when it's got white border on it. So that's what's happening 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I hope you guys come over and say hello. So many of you guys were kind enough to come over and say hello last week. We do it every Tuesday, or I do it every Tuesday. I always say we, but there's really only me. So every Tuesday, that's what I'm doing. And lots of you guys were nice enough to come over and say hello last week. Okay, so we cut this guy out. I don't know if I want him where I want him, or if I just want to put him on sideways. He kind of needs a little something stamped on him, I think. But anyway, some kind of little label right there would be cute. I don't like this one now that I cut it out. I'm being too fussy. I'm going to cut this one quick. And then we're going to glue these on, and we're going to call this flip out decorated. Now, this was super quick. Obviously, if you're decorating at home, you're going to take quite a bit more time than I just took to do it. But, you know, you get the idea. You get the idea. All right. That little label's cut out. Let's go ahead and get these glued on. And I'm just going to go right ahead and glue her on here. Yep. And so she is just a scan of one of my French fashion magazines. If you guys are interested in those French fashion magazines, we might look at those tonight. So there's the lady, and I just glued her right on my page. I didn't even care about it. So there she is. I do care about her being straight though. Okay, so that's her. And then of course, you know, you would probably want to ink around or whatever, but for the purpose of this video, I'm just getting this stuck on there and I'll worry about it later. But this little label, I don't know, I kind of need her under there now. Yeah, yes I do. This little label goes right there. And so now we have a quick little flip out. It's not perfect. I'll have to fix a couple. I should have inked around it, but speed up the video. So anyway, you get the idea. We just made a cute little flip out, and then I'll decorate the back with something. You could put some writing paper back there so that when it flips over in a journal that you could see like a hidden little writing space. And again, you have a pocket, so you can put a tag in here too. But just, you know, pretend like this was, you know, here's the hinge. We've glued it down here, and this is our flip out. So it would literally just glue to the edge right there, and it would flip out this way. And then there would be a tag sticking out of the top up here. So again, you just have to pick a page that you think it looks good on and put it in there. So that's the way the little hinge works. So for the hinge, you just glue the hinge down on the pattern side, unless you flipped your hinge to the other side, and then you would glue that way. But the hinge is pretty self-explanatory, I think. You just use the hinge to make it move. That's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this project. I will see you guys later today, hopefully. Bye. Have a good day.